All right, hello everybody. Hello. This is Ricky Mike, coach of the Virginia Victinis, and welcome. If you saw the title, you know that this is a league match, and the match is coming. This is week one, don't worry. But I figured that I will do a little bit of a quick team showcase, draft analysis, whatever you wanna call it, because I didn't do one last week because I just didn't have time. So anyway, let's get this out of the way real quick. If you are not familiar, we are playing in the PBAL Midnight Division this time. We got invited to their upload division, which is great. I have played on the PBL once before, back in Gen A, where I took over as a sub coach for a team. I believe we make it all the way down to the semifinals in there, but then unfortunately we lost there. I haven't had the opportunity to play here before, and I always wanted to. It was always on my bucket list, so the timing worked out very well, and we are back to play on this season. I'm sorry that I don't know which season it is, but it is what it is. Anyways, so yeah. What can I say about this league as far as rules? Let me see. We have a budget to draft between 9 to 11 Pokemon, I believe. Yep. We're also allowed to have up to 3 Terra Captains with a certain amount of budget. But at the same time, this is a mid to low tier Terra league. So, the broken Pokemon on top cannot terrestrialize, so we're not going to get any of that stuff going on. No Terra Annihilate from this league, unfortunately for me. But at the same time, but the good thing is that we don't have to declare Terra types, which is an awful mechanic in my opinion. We only are doing Terra Preview, which means that you can bring whatever Terra you want, but you need to let your opponent know as you are on Team Preview know what Terra you bring, which is a good balance on the mechanic too, in my opinion. That's how most Smogon leagues do Terra these days. So I'm pretty sure that's gonna, at the end of the day, it's gonna set all leagues kind of be like that, essentially. But what do I know? Anyways, we ended up being second to last. I believe this league has, let me see, 16 coaches. So of course we got a shit position in number 15. But we're gonna do the best we can with whatever we got. But yeah, let me go and show you what my first pick was. Alright, well, if you saw the thumbnail, I'm sure that I'm gonna have this on the thumbnail. Maybe not, but by the time it got to me, I think the best thing available on the board was Darkrai. And I do like Darkrai. I always wanted Darkrai to be allowed on draft. But unfortunately it wasn't. I always thought that it should be allowed in draft. We should only ban Darkboy. But now the Darkboy is useless and the power creep has kind of catch up to it. A lot of leagues allow it. I actually have Darkrai on another Gen League 6 before, or Gen 9 League before. But unfortunately on that one, it was still early on the gen, so I guess people were still cautious about it, so he couldn't use Nasty Plot or Calm Mind. He couldn't boost in any kind of way, which it sucked, but at the end of the day, it was still pretty good. Uh, allegations, right? It's a bad Pokemon, yada yada yada. I'll say this much: it is very matchup reliant, but I think still incredibly scary Pokemon. And if you can build, a good thing around it, I think it can prove itself to be very good. I'm pretty sure I saw it just win the most recent season of BBR, so maybe we can learn something from that. Anyways, yeah. This Darkrai can run Nasty Plot or Calm Mind, which is great for me. So no restrictions on this Darkrai other than not being able to Terra, obviously. But other than that, great. So I get a Struck Dark type, which gets that out of the way. You're not gonna get swept by Store Powers, at least I hope not. I do get a fantastic speed tier on 125, which is still pretty good. It's not the best as it used to be, but it is still pretty good. And just strong overall at Pokemon. Unfortunately, I wouldn't be able to use it's essentially um, ability less, but it is what it is, right? Unless I can put something to sleep with something else. But anyways, and I get to bring my shiny Darkrai from Pokemon Go, which is fun. I hunted this very heavily when it came out on raids because the Platinum or the BDSP event wasn't out yet, so I didn't. Anyways, this Darkrai is going to be the one sleepy because that's the mark that we have for this one. And yeah, moving on. For number 2, I wanted to grab a Pokemon locally. I mean, I was 15, so I was second to last, but it came back to me relatively fast. I wanted to grab a Pokemon that pairs relatively well with Darkrai. This is a combination that I had actually drafted once before, which is on the other league when I did the draft right, and I think it works well and is one of the best Pokemon on Gen 9 as introduced. So weak to fighting, weak to fairy. Of course, we're gonna go ahead and grab the good old El Dorado Gholdengo because I think it pairs very well with Darkrai. They can be very scary combination. It worked very well last time. I've been learning to use this Pokemon better than I used it last time. That when I drafted, so hopefully I can do better with it. Still cannot Terra because it's still too much half violet. But anyways, Gholdengo, bulky. Ability is amazing. It cannot be status. It cannot be face out. It does have setup with Nasty Plot, which I love. Make Your Rain is one of the best moves on the game. Shadow Ball is still pretty good. It gets good coverage in Thunderbolt, Focus Blast, Power Gem. It gets Trick. It gets Reliable Recovery, of course. We recover. It can be many different things. It's a good choice attacker. Speed tier of 84 is solid. I mean, it gives me a good gap between Darkrai and this, so good enough. But what else can I say about Gholdengo, right? It's just a good Pokemon. I do get to use my shiny Gholdengo, which is a event race exclusive for a few months ago, and of course this is Eldorado, so it's gonna be Treasure Hunter. So for Pokemon number 3, okay, so people were grabbing top tiers left and right. And I didn't want to grab a leftover top tier this early on the draft, if that makes sense. So because this is a mid to low tier draft, I decided that instead of trying to grab leftover top tiers right now, I was gonna go ahead and try to grab my Terra Captains now, to try to grab the best ones, right? It is going to be arguable. I get it. What the best Terra Captains are going to be on the draft. People like different things, but I do think that this Pokemon is arguably the best available Terra Captain on the tiers. It was the highest cost of them all at 13 points, but and I always wanted to use it. So for our pick number 3, we're gonna go ahead and grab good old Iron Leaves, which is a Pokemon I had never drafted before. I always wanted to use it. I think that it is essentially Iron Boulder. Mini Iron Boulder. Worse, obviously, but it's still pretty decent, pretty good, especially, if only lower tier stuff can terrestrialize. It gives me a good speed tier right smack in the middle of the 125 and the 84 for Gholdengo and 104. It can abuse booster energy for both speed and for attack, which is always, good for versatility. And again, it can Terra into any type. I just need to let my opponent know what Terra is at Team Preview, which is an advantage because this thing can change its type. It has a decent enough move pool with Grass, Psychic, Fighting, and Bug moves, but now I get coverage for anything essentially. So yeah, pretty happy with this. It does get set up with Swords Dance, obviously, and it can double set up with Swords Dance and Trailblaze. So I like it. I wish it got stronger moves like Power Whip, but then again, if it did, I will run that and then I will complain when I miss and I lose. So, anyways, we're gonna bring our also event exclusive Doom Boosters Iron Leaf. The nickname is essentially one of my good friends, ST Horizon. Decided I was looking for nicknames for these 3, Paradox, and he named his Iron Boulder Hulkbuster, which I thought was genius. So I decided I'm gonna steal it, and then I'm gonna need all 3 of my future Musketeers. This one is the Iron Suit, I guess, that will boss Doctor Doom because it's green. Yeah, that's my logic. Anyways, but this used to be, I guess, at some point a Musketeer, so it was once well trained. So that's gonna be the mark we're gonna bring for this one on this one. Following the same logic, I'm gonna grab my second Terra Captain in the best shiny, or one of the best shinies in the game, in my opinion, Shiny Dragapult. Because I gotten humbled by it a couple of times on two recent leaks. And I am a believer now on Terra Vicable, or at least so far. But yeah, Terra Vicable I think is pretty good. I unfortunately lost Roost this generation, which makes it worse for as far as wall, since it lost reliable recovery outside leftovers or rests. But you know, it basically keep everything else that it had. It still can agility for unexpected sweeps. It still has very strong special attacks in the double steps or Thunderbolt, Discharge, Ball Switch, whatnot. It gives me access to webs, which is very good with Gholdengo, because my opponent should not be able to remove them if I decide to bring them, which is, puts a lot of pressure on other teams. Granted, they can bring heavy duty boots, but if they bring heavy duty boots on every Pokemon, then, that's a win for me, right? And, if I decide to terrestrialize something like Electric, then essentially I had no weakness other than, Mold Breaker Pokemon. So yeah, I don't think I have drafted Vicable before, so I'm very excited to finally being able to draft it. Hopefully, it's gonna do great things. And again, the shiny is amazing. Anyways, this is gonna be Helicarrier, our shiny Vicable, because it does look like a freaking ship that is flying on the sky. So because of that, it's gonna be the Cloud Watcher. And now that I have my top tiers, quote unquote, and my Terra Captains, I decided to start filling out roles for the rest of my team. First of all, I don't have a ground type yet, which is always important, otherwise Electric does mess you up. And I also have a grounded poison, which is, not ideal for setup sweepers like Iron Leaves. And I also don't have any hazards yet, so yeah, I guess we're gonna fix all of that on one Pokemon. Coming up next is gonna be good old Clodsire, our girl Blueberry here. Shiny Blueberry at that, looking adorable. But yeah, this Pokemon gives me a grounded poison type as well as a ground type, so I don't have to worry about certain things. It does give me access to essentially all forms of hazards and spikes, toxic spikes, and Stealth Rocks, I believe. Maybe it doesn't get toxic spikes, but I'm pretty sure it does. And then, it also gives me Unaware, which is super valuable on Gen 9s, given that everything wants to set up. It does give me Water Absorb to eliminate one of its weaknesses if Unaware is unnecessary, which is also good. It allows me to stop both Flip Turn and Ball Switch, which is great. And overall, it's just adorable. I did drafted. I never drafted Clodsire before, but I did get it from a team that I took over. I got rid of it after the first week because when I make changes to the team. But on that 1 week that I had to use it, it was actually pretty good. I actually 1v1 a Rillaboom with this. So excited to get a second chance to use it. Hopefully we'll do great things. The mark for this one is going to be the Gourmet, because look at her. She obviously loves to eat. So yeah. Anyways, moving on. Again, I'm trying to fill in roles at this point. I think I have a lot of things very well covered, so I'm not going to try to fill a defensive role. Probably more of an offensive role. And of course, you always need a fairy. I also don't have a water type, which I want to get. Before I got Clodsire, I decided I was going to get either Azumarill or Primarina, whichever one got to me. I don't remember if Azumarill ever got to me or not, but this thing was on the board when I got back to me, and of course I'm going to pick it up. Primarina is just an amazing Pokemon. It just gets gotten better every generation. In my opinion, since being introduced in Gen 7, it gives me a bulky water. Unfortunately, it still doesn't get reliable recovery, but it is what it is. It gives me a bulky fairy, which is great, as well as another pivot, because I love my pivot in Flip Turn. It also gives me access to potential setup in Calm Mind. Obviously, it gives me and it gets access to the new toy, basically essentially a water type Psychic Noise, which is great to stop recovery on walls that otherwise would be able to stall it out. And yeah, its coverage is relatively good, actually, if you look at it with, Water, Fairy, Ice, and Grass move. So this thing is relatively hard to wall, to be honest, and it's also hard to break. So very happy to have picked this up. I had drafted Primarina a couple of times before. I have a couple of championships with it, but always happy to be able to grab it again if I get the opportunity. And you also get the chance to use my, the 7-star Primarina that came out a couple of months ago. So this one is going to be Ariel, the Unrival for the Might with the Mightiest mark. Anyways, moving on. So again, I have a lot of roles covered. So I'm just trying to fit good things. I even though I get so I do have a Gholdengo, so I want to build around that as well. The fact that I have now basically all hazards, including sticky webs, is good for me. I always like to drive, of course, hazard removal because I don't think a team is good without any hazard removal. So I was looking at Neuburn because Neuburn is reliable enough defogger, but I have a Gholdengo, so for the most part I would prefer not to remove my own hazards if possible. So instead of going with Neuburn, we're gonna go with a different dragon type that also has what is it called? That also has hazard control on the form rapid spin, however. So we're gonna go ahead and grab Accelerate, our shiny Cyclizar, which I'm very excited to use. This is the first shiny that I caught in Gen 9, that I hunted for in Gen 9, which is nice. It's the first Pokemon I ever drafted in Gen 9 for the first Gen 9 tournament. Don't let anybody ever tell you that happened in LET. Very early on the generation. This was my first pick, actually. Back then, it was actually allowed to use Shell, and that's why I drafted it. Unfortunately, I cannot use Shell on this one, but I still get access to everything else that it gets, and it has a lot of utility. Like I said, it has rapid spin, it has taunt, it has regenerator, which is super good. It has a very good move pool, including knockoff, which I love. I just love my knockoff spammers. He has options for both physical and special because he has as a normal type, he gets very good. He has a very good mood pool and even has options for setup in shift gear, which is good. So yeah, and essentially, it gives me a spinner to make sure that I don't have to remove my own hazards if I decide to hazard stack my opponent and they decide to do the same. So yeah, the speed tier at 121 is smack in the middle of, well, not smack in the middle, but in between Iron Leaf and Darkrai, which is helpful as always. And yeah, the mark is gonna be the rank master because this was part of the first team that I reached, Master Ball in the BSS singles, way at the beginning of the generation. Anyways, for the next Pokemon, because I didn't draft Neuburn, I do have a Levitator. But I don't want Iron Leaves as my Gray type to be my only answer to ground moves. The Gholdengo and both Gholdengo and Clodsire are weak to them, so I need to get a flying type. Luckily for me, this thing was still on the board in Galarian Zapdos, so I absolutely love this Pokemon. I have won championships with it before. I had drafted it before in Gen 9 as well. It's just a great choice user, I'll say that much. Either with Choice Scarf or Choice Band, because it has Intimidate, it is immune. It actually benefits from because it has Defiant. It benefits from Intimidate, so that prevents opponents from doing anything to it. Trying to use that to, I guess, stop it. It also gets the unresisted stuff of fighting and flying, which is fantastic. It gets good pivot option U-turn, and it actually gained knockoff this generation, which, like I said, I love my knockoff spammer, so very happy to grab this. I also get to use the shiny version from the event last year or last generation. Funny enough, you can hunt this now in Pokemon Go shiny, but it is nearly impossible to get. You have to hunt it for 15 minutes a day, and that's it. And you have to be lucky to find it, and then you have to be lucky enough to roll a shiny, which is almost impossible to get. I hate the people that keep posting stuff that they get in the subreddit, but it is what it is. We're gonna use our event because we did play during that time. Has the event mark for the Pokemon fan, and yeah, Zapdos is here to wreck my opponents. And for our 9 Pokemon, which is our last Pokemon, I usually only draft 9 Pokemon if it is allowed. I don't. What is the other one? I do want another flying resist because flying is very spammable, and I do have an Iron Leaf and a Zapdos. I don't necessarily think that my electric being neutral to flying is great, so I'm gonna try. I was looking at rock types, and at the same time, I wanted to grab I wanted to complete my grass, water, fire core because I have the the steel fairy dragon core, so I might as well complete the other one. So I'm just using this as an excuse to draft this Pokemon, Sugan Arcanine. Again, another Pokemon that I never drafted. I always wanted to draft because it sounds super fun. Um, you know, Rockhead, Flare Blitz, and Head Smash. They just destroy everything. They're basically unresisted as long as I play well. It is great with web support, which we do have the Vikavolt, and Intimidate in case it's needed for defensive stuff. It's always good to have in the team. Unfortunately, it doesn't have rocks. It would be lovely to have a second rocker on the team, but it is what it is. We had to deal with that. The speed tier is right in between my Zapdos and my Gholdengo at 90, which is fantastic. It fills that little hole that we had in there. And it has a priority on a string speed, which is always good to have in the team. So yeah, fill all the roles. I'm gonna take this excuse. We're gonna grab it. He's on the team. I would have loved to make this one of my Terra captains. Unfortunately, it is too high in the tiers to be able to Terra. Otherwise, I would have loved to spam Terra normal string speeds with this team. But it is what it is, right? I still think that it will do great, but we'll see how it goes. And of course, the Mark is going to be the great friend because look at him. He's just a good boy. He's just a good boy. But anyways, yeah, that's going to be the team for Virginia Victinis on this season of the PBL. Hopefully we can do well. Like I said, I wanted to play on this league for a little while now, so good timing, I guess, since we didn't have any other or a whole lot of other leagues starting up. But yeah. Anyways, let's get into the battle. Thank you for watching. All right, welcome to the game, everybody. Welcome. We're facing Fin and his Pallet Paladins this week. Here's the matchup. He has the Dragapult. He didn't bring the Witchium, and he has Terra Ground Fezandipity, which is scary enough, I guess. So hopefully it's a good game without any hacks, and good luck, have fun to my opponent. But yeah, man, we'll see how this goes. Okay, they did bring the Magneson, which is interesting. They don't have a ground type. Oh, they do have a ground type in the Fezandipity. What am I saying? Okay, sorry if I have seen a little scatterbrain. It's just Magneson is annoying. If he starts with Frostlass, I will have to go into you. I mean, if he starts with Frostlass, it's just annoying, but I think we can do things. Let me see, Vikavolt versus Frostlass. What do we wanna do here? I think I actually gonna start Gholdengo. Yeah, I kinda have to because he has the Frostlass, which is annoying. But good luck to my opponent. Hopefully, it's, like I say, it's a fun game without any hacks. Yeah, we'll see how this goes. They start with the Dragapult. Okay, cool. Alright, cool. I don't think they will stay in. They really shouldn't. Yeah, what would you go into? You really don't have a very good switch to this. So I'm just gonna go for a Shadow Ball. And it's gonna be what it's gonna be. Just gonna U-turn. Very well. Yeah, we could have started with the thing, but we didn't, which is unfortunate. But it is what it is. Wow. Quite unfortunate. Oh well. I would imagine they go for some DPD. Okay. That is a very interesting play. Shadow Ball is not gonna do a lot because this thing is just very defensive. Yeah, okay. It does give them opportunity to Terra though, so I will have to remember that. Sorry, trying to do too many things while doing one thing. There's some DPD. Okay, so he's just a bulky pivot. Because his Terra Ground is annoying. I'm just gonna go to the Hell Carrier and see what they try to do. They can always poison me, but you know, if they do, so be it. This festivity is Terra Ground, yes. So let's see what they do. They're gonna go ahead and Terra. Makes sense, makes sense. Probably just gonna U-turn or Toxic, to be honest. They're gonna Roost. Okay. Cool. Okay. So I could try to Ball Switch here. I could try to Energy Ball. I think Energy Ball will be a decent hit into anything. I don't think you go into Dragapult. Go versus Dragapult. I'm sorry, don't be like me, kids. Do not try to do too many things at the same time when you're playing a game. 31. That is offensive, Dragapult. That's good to know. That's good to know. I mean, if I set up a sticky web, I force him to have to answer that. So I'm gonna go for the sticky web. See what happens. I'm gonna gunshot. I'm gonna miss. That's good for me. Okay. And we haven't had to Terra, which is good. Let's face some DPD. P-Bud. Gunshot. Do my big ball. Big ball. It's gonna do 42%. Your Terra Ground though. Energy Ball is gonna do a decent chunk. Just gonna go for it. Hellstar. That's annoying. We're gonna see. Is this loaded dice? Interesting. It might be loaded dice. Technician at that. You're not gonna enjoy this though. Yep. He may be trying to try to get a Toxic, which will be annoying, I'll admit, but not the end of the world. Well, we've seen Tail Slap, Gunshot. I would imagine the last move is Terra Blast, but I'm gonna go for the Energy Ball here. I'm just gonna keep going for the Tail Slap. Okay. There is the Toxic Exchange, unfortunately, but you know, that is just how it is sometimes, right? Yeah, I think they're loaded dice. Okay, that is some good damage. If I go Zapdos right now, we'll do a lot with it. I think I'm gonna go Zapdos here. I mean, I don't really need to keep you for anything else. Right? Yeah, I'm gonna go Zapdos. If they roost, they roost. But if we can get rid of Ding, it's gonna open up our game a little bit more. Alright. We're gonna recover some health. Okay. So a Brave Bird will do a lot, it wouldn't kill it. Problem is, he will do a lot back to me. I think what I'm gonna do is, I think I'm gonna U-turn and go into Clodsire, actually. They didn't bring their Shifu, now that I'm looking at it. So let's go to Blueberry. And hopefully they go for that move again. Yep. Please hit 5 times and kill yourself. That would be lovely. 2. 3. One more time, please. One more time, please. One more time, please. Let's go! Blueberry putting on the finest of war here already. Let's freaking go, dude. First kill of the season for the Pokemon that the draft analyst didn't like on my team. The Clodsire. That is amazing, dude. That is amazing. He still has a lot of things, so I had to be careful, but I will imagine they go into Corviknight to default here, right? Yeah. You're gonna be pressure, you're not pressure. Okay. Alright. They're gonna try to default here, so maybe I should just go El Dorado. Yeah, I'm not gonna let you default them, Sticky Webs. They're looking nice and pretty there, so. Let's go to Gholdengo. If they U-turn, they U-turn. Yeah, let's just U-turn. Shu had a stating. It is what it is. It's gonna be interesting what they go into though, because if they go Frostlass, I actually will be faster than you, unless you are specifically Scarf. Or Sash, I guess. Gholdengo. They're gonna go Magnuson actually. That's annoying. But with the Sticky Webs, I should be faster than you. Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't have a choice to Shadow Ball here just for the damage. Yeah, they're just gonna have to Thunderbolt, I guess, but maybe we can win this exchange. Yeah, let's just go for the Shadow Ball. I cannot switch. This thing is specifically here to trap the Gholdengo, which is fine, I suppose. Let's see how much it does. So close to a 2-shot. They're actually gonna Light Screen on me. Okay, that's fine. Well, if you're gonna Light Screen, I'm gonna Nasty Blood. Reflect. Yep. What would you go into here? What are you trying to set up with? It has to be the Dragapult, right? I'm gonna Nasty Blood. I wanna waste turns of his setup. Of his screens. Okay, he's just gonna Ball Switch. Fair enough. Oh my god, that does so much. It might not be worth it then now to the thing. I should have just attacked it. I wasn't gonna kill it though, which is the unfortunate part. That Magnuson is annoying, I'll say that much. And he probably has the screens for a good while now. Not bringing their Shifu is interesting though. I mean, I suppose I understand it. I do have Primarina. Oh, he goes into Frostlass. Okay. I should be able to take a hit from Frostlass, right? Frostlass, if you are just this. Shadow Ball. 35%. I should leave a hit. So I'm faster than you at -1. You being a -1 though. I should be. So I'm gonna recover first. See what happens. It's actually gonna endure. That's not gonna happen, sir. And this thing being endure means that it is not choice scarf, so I'm faster than you actually. Let me just double check. Yep. I'm faster than you. So you ain't gonna be Destiny Boning anybody, sir. Just catch this Shadow Ball. That's the thing with Gholdengo, man. This is why this Pokemon is so good. They're gonna switch out. Sack the Magnuson will be my guess. Corviknight, perfect. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can 2-shot this team from where you are, even with the screens. Yep. There's no shot you're faster than me. Just gonna Shadow Ball. Bye-bye, Corviknight. Okay, Eldorado gets the second kill of the game. That's good, that's good. This is looking good, boys. This is looking good. The sticker whips are coming up pretty clutch. I wasn't even gonna bring them, to be honest. I'll only bring them to because I didn't need the 4 move pool on the big ball. Yep, they go to Frostlass. I mean, if you endure, you endure. I don't care. I will just Shadow Ball you. I do have the Very for the Ghost move. Yep, this thing is dead. Bye-bye, Frostlass. Curse Body. That sucks, but you know what? It's fine. It's fine. I can make you rain, I guess. I mean, I will make you rain into you anyways. It doesn't matter what you do. We'll see if you're faster than me though. You should still be faster than me though. I didn't think that I should put investment on you. So yeah, we're just gonna make you rain into you. And if you're slower, that really sucks for you. They are faster. Okay. Okay. Right. Let me see. My Gholdengo versus a Choice Banded Dragapult. Choice Banded. With Phantom Force. 74%. Even if you're adamant, you don't kill me, right? Yeah. Is there anything else I would prefer to take a Choice Band? No, absolutely not. So yeah, you can catch the Make It Rain. There's the Phantom Force. We take it because we're boss. Catch that Make It Rain, sir. Bye-bye, Dragapult. Let's go. The very first thing that I thought when I was building this thing is like, oh, I'm gonna bring Passive Gholdengo. Because gotta obey that Dragapult, man. We gotta obey that Dragapult. We are -1, unfortunately, which means that the Magnezone is annoying. They're not gonna bring it up. They're just gonna go straight into the keyboard. This thing is, I guess, heavy duty boots, so that's good for it. I think my best play here is to go Blueberry though. Yeah, I don't want to lose my Gholdengo just yet. So, do they have 2 Pokemon? Yep, they had 2 Pokemon. My Shadow Ball is still gone. Yeah, let's just go Blueberry here. I'm gonna put Eldorado. I'm gonna go into this thing. They're gonna Trailblaze. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Critical hit. That's unfortunate, but it's okay. Should lose some of his health. What do you do to me though? What does Cleaver has? I have a Cleaver here somewhere. Cleaver. You had like Drill Run. No. What about a Psychic move? Not really. I'm gonna recover. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. Yep. Going all in, I see. I'm gonna go ahead and haste. So probably X Scissors and Trailblaze, I guess, is good enough of a move. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. No, sir. You shall not have that. And they lost all their stat changes. Which means I should be good to start going for earthquakes. Yep. That's fine. I want to see how much damage does that. This does. Close enough, I suppose. I am going to haste in case I want to trailblaze here. Nice slash. Ah, okay then. Yep. The haste should take care of that. And I should be able to earthquake here, right? Yeah, I think an earthquake kills it from here. So I'm gonna go for the earthquake. Trailblaze. Yeah, between that and the earthquake, it just dies. Rocky Helmet Blueberry, man, being the absolute MVP this game. There it goes. Good job, buddy. Very nicely done. We got Magnus on here. And I leave any hit that it goes for, even if it's analytic and whatnot. And I just kill it with Yep. Sticky webs. Just because I want to prevent the differential, I'm going to leave and just kill it with the close combat. Also, we do get to use our Terra. Should boost our speed. Core Drive activates. Should just go for a flash cannon. Oh, explosion. Is that gonna kill me? That sucks if it does, but you know, that will be fine. Oh, it doesn't. Let's go. Okay, boom. There goes the dynamite. All right, well, you gotta love it when a plan comes together, man, and that came out really well. I couldn't have asked for a better start of the season. Thank you to my opponent for the battle, and yeah, we'll see you on week 2. Bye now.